Actually, still not convinced. Let's bring in tall trainer Jeremy Biernat, our friend who always has good ideas for helping us in terms of losing weight, staying in shape, and what a good time of year to see you. How are you?
Yeah, doing good, doing really good.
The tall trainer, and you measure how tall, tall trainer?
6'3".
6'3", and you are out of where? Where can we find you?
Out of Canandaigua. And if you want to know more information or just get some ideas, we have a new blog up that's healthclubwithoutwalls.com.
Healthclubwithoutwalls.com. Well, you're coming in this morning with 5 ideas on keeping unwanted holiday weight gain from hitting us, and it hits so many people. And what we're going to do is we're going to go 1 through 5, and Jeremy will explain. And I love these ideas. Some of them you may have heard, some of them are sort of new ideas. So if we can start with number 1, use mindless eating to your advantage. How do you use mindless eating to your advantage?
Well, one thing you can do is downsize the size of your plates. If you go for narrower and taller glasses, and then smaller silverware and things like that. We all like to imagine that we don't get tricked by these things, but what we actually do, when we downsize, we actually do take less, and we do feel like we've had more. So just by tricking yourself and changing up the sizes. There's a bunch of other ideas in a book called Mindless Eating by Dr. Brian Wansink. He's actually a food researcher at Cornell, and it's a lot of interesting ideas and some funny stories in there too.
So if I just take say a salad plate and put an entree on a salad plate, I'm going to have a smaller entree, but I'll still be satisfied.
Yeah, it'll feel more because it'll be swelling up over that plate. You'll feel like you've had a little bit more. When you have a really small thing on a huge plate, it really isn't satisfying to look at.
Number 2, I love this. Choose a high-calorie day. 1 a week? Is that
one a week is probably about the best way to go, and I love this too. Everybody thinks, as a personal trainer, that you don't eat any stuff that is bad, pizzas, things like that. But I do. I eat those things. But the trick is to make sure that on the other days that you're eating, you're leaning a lot more towards lean proteins and vegetables, having a lot of those. And then if you have this high day, one, is psychologically beneficial because then you're not always hammering yourself, not allowed to eat certain things. But also physiologically, it's beneficial because some of our hormones start to downshift as we're decreasing our calorie intake. And so by having a day where we have this higher amount, some of those hormones get boosted back up, and so now we're back into a really good fat burning zone there. So that high day, in fact, a lot of times the dirtier the better. So having some of the foods that you want, like on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a free-for-all for me.
That should be the calorie day, yes.
The main thing is the next day that can't be a high-calorie day too, is you got to get back on track. So 1 day a week you can do it.
And this feeds right into his 3rd point, because you talk about the next day, especially after a big meal, avoiding leftovers in general, but especially, you say, leftover desserts. Why desserts in particular?
It tends to be carbs is what really messes us up. So if we're having extra protein, extra vegetables, that's not really going to throw us off, and we can't eat quite as much of those things. But leftover desserts, they get through our system really fast, and so we can have more and more, and it really leaves us on that kind of carbohydrate wave there, so we're constantly starving and hungry. And so if you get rid of the desserts, get those things out of there, those tend to be some of the most tempting things for us. Adios them, send them with whoever has the most kids.
Yes, I love that.
Because kids are so active, they're always running around. They'll burn through it. You see kids on desserts. They're wonderful. They're just cranking. They're cranking through those calories.
Yes.
So give it to them. Let them burn through them for you, so you don't have to ride them on your waist there.
Even the tall trainer, do you have the syndrome that we all do, which is if you're walking, through a kitchen and there's a plate of brownies left over, you may actually grab one?
I might actually grab one. Yeah, it's very true.
I'm actually physically incapable of not grabbing one.
It is a case of out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
The more inconvenient you can make, a bad decision, the less likely you are to make that decision.
I think that's a great point. Number 4 on his list. Another very thoughtful one this time of year. Hors d'oeuvres are everywhere, and you say avoid hors d'oeuvre overload. So you're not saying avoid it entirely, but what exactly?
The hors d'oeuvres, a lot of times we think of them as just as small little things or hardly anything. A lot of times we don't even factor them in as counting them as some food that we ate.
Right.
But a lot of those, especially the kind of the fancy kind, you can really put about 100 calories a pop, per
and it's easy over the course of, say, an hour to consume a heck of a lot more than you're realizing, huh?
And so the big trick is to move yourself away from from the table. If it's a spread there, get yourself away from there. Find somebody to talk to, like, away from the food, because if you're standing right next to it, you're more likely to mindlessly, again, just kind of grab things and stuff, and you won't even think about it because you're busy talking, having fun, enjoying time with people, and so you end up popping more than you should.
But it is so true. So maybe take a small plate and get to the other end of the room.
Yeah, just take one plate worth. Don't go back again. Just one plate. Get away from it.
Now, here's the one that a lot of people will struggle with, but it's a great one to finish with. Even though you're busy, make time to exercise. It's just a commitment, huh?
Yeah, and it really can help. I mean, sometimes even just a short duration of exercise can really help you a little bit, get the metabolism boosted up. So even 10 minutes, you know, we have some on our website there that you can even do a 10-minute workout and get things revved up. But if you could get, you know, like a 3-mile walk in a day even, you know, that 3 miles is going to be about 300 calories. Over the course of this kind of month-and-a-half holiday season, that could prevent about 4.5 pounds of weight gain there.
I love that idea, and it's good to kind of keep us on track, because a lot of us think, well, I'll start again when the weather warms up, and you're saying just keep at it, especially this time of year, we can get through it. Where can we find you again?
We have two websites, talltrainer.com, and then the blog is healthclubwithoutwalls.com.
And we'll see you again on this program. Thanks for the great advice.
You're welcome.
You know who could use his help is the Group Pig, who seems to be putting on a lot of weight lately. Now, the Group Pig